Hey guys, welcome back for another video. We got a fun one prepared today. What we'll be doing is we'll be doing our quick picks for all of our Week 18 NFL matchups. We're going to run through these games as quickly as possible. There's 16 total ones, 2 Saturday games. The rest are on Sunday. We're going to break them down, try to predict the outcome, who's going to win, lose, what the final score will be. We'll also briefly touch on the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond to every single one of them. We're going over all these games every week, every NFL game. Last week of the regular season, guys, it is almost the playoffs about to kick off. We also go over every college game, the bowl games, as well as every playoff matchup. First year of the 12-team playoff format. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world of football. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. But let's get started running through these games. The very first one we're going to have kicking things off on Saturday, January 4th at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN. The 3-13 Cleveland Browns versus the 11-5 Baltimore Ravens. The Browns cannot buy a first down, having a lot of issues moving the ball. And then you have the Baltimore Ravens, the number 3 offense. They have 0 issues moving the ball. They've already clinched a playoff spot. What they're playing for right now is getting Lamar Jackson back-to-back MVPs, potentially his 3rd overall MVP. Right now, the Ravens heavy favorites, 89.8% chance to win this game. They are 17.5-point favorites. The over in here is 42. For the Browns, they're going to be going with Dorian Thompson. Right now, they're averaging 15.5, throwing for 208, running for 97. They're giving up 25 a game. A lot of issues on offense, leading to issues on defense. The defense gets wore out. Then you have Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 43 overall touchdowns, 4,000 yards, 39 passing, only 4 picks. They average 30.2. The number 2 rushing team running for 186 every game, only giving up 21.9. Henry, Flowers, Andrews, likely way too many weapons. They'll dominate on the ground. They'll dominate through the air. We have the Ravens winning this one, getting the starters out 4th quarter. They win 27-13. Then our second Saturday matchup on ESPN at 8 p.m. We have the 8-8 Cincinnati Bengals. They have to win this game. They need the Broncos to lose, but they have to win this game. They chipped their way back to 500. Now they just have to try to get their shot in the playoffs, but the only route is at least winning this game. They're playing the 10-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, Tomlin team, run the ball, play defense. The offense and the defense have been struggling for the last 3 or 4 weeks, but we know that this is a team that is built for a playoff run, especially on the defensive side. Right now, the Bengals, 46.4% chance to win this game, 1.5-point favorite. The over is 48.5. They have a top 5 overall offense. Joe Burrow putting up video game numbers throughout the entire season. 4,700 yards, 42 passing touchdowns, 8 picks. They're averaging 28.3. The number 1 passing team, throwing for 274.6, running for 94, giving up 26.1. Their big issue is every touchdown they score, they give up touchdowns. But thankfully for them, Steelers probably aren't capable of getting into a shootout with them. Russell Wilson, he's having a conservative season. He's not going to win you the game, but he's not going to cost you the game. Right now, they're averaging 22.7, throwing for 197, running for 131, giving up 20.5 points a game. Expect a steady dose of Harris if he's fully healthy. On the other side, one of the best offensive rosters, Brown, Chase, Higgins, so many weapons. The Bengals need this one. We have them pulling off a close one, 28-24. And then now moving on to our Sunday matchups on Fox at 1 p.m. The 11-5 Washington Commanders versus the 7-9 Dallas Cowboys. Since they lost Dak, they've actually been playing better on the offensive side overall. Right now, Washington, 65.3% chance to win this game. They are 4.5-point favorites. Over in here is 44. Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, running the ball, throwing the ball. 3,600 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 picks. He also has almost 900 yards on the ground. Top 5 offense, average 28.9, throw for 219, run for 157. Very balanced on the offensive side, and they're giving up 23.3 points a game. For Dallas, Cooper Rush has actually been playing pretty well. They've actually gotten Dowdle going on the ground. Right now, they're averaging 20.7, throwing for 227, running for 97. That used to be 75. They're running for 22 more yards every game since Dak Prescott went out. But their defense is awful. One of the worst in the NFL, giving up 27.8. They had a top 3 defense last season. They have a bottom 3 defense right now, and CeeDee Lamb is also out. On the other side, they have too many weapons. They are going to the playoffs. Complete turnaround this season. Props to the Commanders. We have Washington winning this one, 28-20. And then at 1 p.m. on Fox, we have the 4-12 Jacksonville Jaguars versus the 7-9 Colts. Right now, the big question here is, which coach is going to get fired first? Peterson, he probably has to be fired for sure when this season ends. Right now, they don't have Trevor Lawrence. The Jags are the underdog. Colts, 58.5% chance to win this game. They are 5-point favorites. Over in here is 45.5. Richardson was out this past weekend. There is rumors that he might get the non-starting Saturday. Right now, for Jacksonville, there's no Trevor Lawrence. They'll be going with Mac Jones. They're averaging 18.6. throwing for 204, running for 101, giving up 25.6. A really bad secondary, giving up about 260 pass yards per game. There will be opportunities for the Colts to push the ball down the field. They don't have the offense to score a lot of points, but they probably have just enough. Right now, they are averaging 21.9, throwing for 194, running for 135, giving up 25.3. Two very questionable defenses. Expect a steady dose of Jonathan Taylor on the ground, but also catching the ball out the backfield. We have the Colts pulling off a close one here, winning this one 24-21, and the Jags finish with only 4 wins. Like I said, this is a game of who's going to get fired first. And then on Fox at 1 p.m., the 5-11 New Orleans Saints. Right now, they don't have Carr. They don't have Kamara. Not a bad roster, but they can't get everything on the page at the same time. They'll be playing the 9-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are cruising on offense. Top 5 offense. Baker Mayfield putting up massive passing numbers right now. He's closing on a 4,300 yards, 39 passing touchdowns, 15 picks. They lost Chris Godwin. They got Mike Evans back. He's only 85 yards from 1,000, and it's his 11th straight 1,000-yard season. They have a playoff spot, but they want to get that guy 1,000 yards. Death, taxes, Mike Evans getting 1,000 yards every year. Right now, the Saints are averaging 19.9, throwing for 204, running for 118, giving up 23.2. Very Alvin Kamara-centric. With him not playing, he is their entire offense right now. Someone else has to step up. And then for Tampa Bay, they're averaging 29.7, throwing for 253, running for 147, giving up 22.8. They have Irving, they have Evans, they have Baker Mayfield slinging the ball. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this one big, 34-17, completely dominating this game. And then 1 p.m. on Fox, the 4-12 Chicago Bears. They've lost, 10 straight games? Since the Hail Mary loss, this team has completely fallen off the rails. They need this win just for pride. But unfortunately for them, they're going to be playing a playoff team, the 11-5 Green Bay Packers. They have everything set up for them right now for the playoffs. Everyone's just fighting for seeding right now. They have a 74.7% chance to win this game. 9.5-point favorites. The over-under is 40.5 for the Bears. Caleb Williams not having a bad season so far. 3,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 picks. The offensive line has been buying him some time. They're going to need to buy him more time this weekend because Green Bay's defense gets after it. Right now, the Bears are averaging 17.9, throwing for 184, running for 103, giving up 21.8. In Green Bay, a top 7 offense. Jordan Love missed 2 games and still 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. They average 27.4. They throw for 226. They run for 145. That defense only gives up 19.6. Expect a steady dose of Jacobs on the ground. One of the more underappreciated running backs in the NFL. He's closing in on 1,300 yards. They're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. They win this one 28-17. And then on CBS at 1 p.m., the 4-12 Carolina Panthers. Hey, props to the Panthers. They are no longer the worst team in the NFL. That's actually a massive forward in the right direction. Bryce Young, since he came back a starter, playing a lot better on the offensive side, but they do have the worst defense in the NFL. They're playing the 8-8 Atlanta Falcons, who have a 73.4% chance to win this game. They just want to end the season on a high note. They put Cousins to the side. Penix has been playing good the last 2 games. He is now the starter going forward. They are 8.5-point favorites. Over in here is 48. Right now, Bryce Young, 12 touchdowns, 9 picks. They average 18.6. They throw for 182. They run for 108. They're giving up 31 points a game. The worst defense in the NFL. They're not going to have Chuba Hubbard here, one of the better running backs this season. So Thielen and company, you're going to have to step up to be the playmakers this game. And looking at the Falcons, they're averaging 21.9, throwing for 235, running for 125, giving up 23.7 points a game. But they have a loaded roster. Robinson, Algiers, London, Mooney, Pitts, weapons up and down the field. Penix, no reason to force things. Give the ball to your playmakers. You have the Falcons finishing the season with a win, winning this one 31-21. And then 1 p.m. on CBS, the 13-3 Buffalo Bills. Right now, they're just playing to potentially keep Josh Allen in the MVP front-runner race. They'll be playing the 3-13 New England Patriots. Patriots, don't win this game. You have the number 1 pick locked down. There's no reason to do anything dumb and try to win this meaningless game. Right now, the Buffalo Bills, 78% chance to win this game. They are 3-point favorites. The over here is 38. Josh Allen, 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 picks. He also has 13 rushing touchdowns, 41 overall touchdowns. The number 2 offense in the NFL, just behind the Lions. They average 31.8. Throw for 234, run for 131, giving up 21.6. That defense will be with them at home here to end the season. Patriots, they don't have the offense to compete here to me. They're only averaging 16.6, throwing for 173, running for 118. Drake May didn't have a bad season. They need to get him some playmakers in the offseason. He needs a deep wide receiver threat. And the Buffalo Bills, they're loaded. Cook, Shakir, Coleman, Cooper. Too many weapons, and they have the defense, and they've clinched. They're just playing for stats. Buffalo wins this one 24-17. Then on CBS at 1 p.m., the 3-13 New York Giants. They might be the worst team in the NFL this season. Coaching issues, massive quarterback issues. Right now they'll be playing the 13-3 Philadelphia Eagles, who are basically going to be playing their entire second string this game. Saquon Barkley, he's not going for the rushing record. They want to keep his legs fresh. They have an 82.9% chance to win this game. 3-point favorites with their second string playing the game. 38.5 over-under. Giants, they've had 3 different quarterbacks playing. Really doesn't matter who you put at the quarterback position. They cannot consistently get first downs. They average 16.3, throw for 193, run for 105, giving up 24.7 points a game. Their defense just gets wore out over 4 quarters. And the Eagles, one of the most rounded teams, the number 1 rushing team. They're averaging 27.7, throwing for 184, running for 187.3, and they have a top 2 defense in the NFL, only giving up 18.1 points a game. A loaded roster, but that's with their starters. Neighbors can't do everything for the Giants because he needs a quarterback who can actually get him the ball. We have the Eagles backup still winning this game, dominating. They win 23-15. Then at 1 p.m. on CBS, the 9-7 Houston Texans. Hey, they have a playoff spot here. They just need to get the offense going. They are riding a losing streak right now. The offense has completely sputtered out. They lost Dell, Diggs. They need to be going off of a win in the playoffs, try to get some momentum. They'll be playing the 3-13 Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, they just want a high draft pick right now. They are the underdogs. Right now, the Texans, 51.9% chance to win this game, but Tennessee's actually a 1-point favorite at home, 38.5 over under. Tennessee, a lot of one-possession losses. They can keep these games close and competitive. For Houston, Stroud, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks. They average 21.8. Throw for 210, run for 106, giving up 22.4 points a game. Expect a steady dose of Mixon, and they still have Nico Collins. He's a top 3 wide receiver when he plays. For Tennessee, Levis, Rudolph, really doesn't matter. Keep from the turnovers on your own side of the field. That's what's doomed this team. They're averaging 18.6. They're giving up 27.3, but a lot of that is off of turnovers. Their defense actually surprisingly hasn't played bad. They have Pollard. They have Ridley. They have the playmakers there. I would not be surprised if they get the win here, but I am going to go with the Texans finishing the regular season with a dub. They win this one 23-20. And on Fox at 4:25 p.m., the 6-10 San Francisco 49ers, they went from almost winning the Super Bowl to being 6-10 in Week 18 final week. They'll be playing the 7-9 Arizona Cardinals. They had their shot to make the playoffs. Very bad, inconsistent play the last 3 weeks. Took them out of the running, but at least they can get a win here. Try to get some momentum for next season. They are going to be playing here in Arizona. Right now, the 49ers, 55.5% chance to win this game. 4-point favorites over here is 42.5. San Francisco, probably the best roster when they're healthy. When they are healthy, they have not been healthy the entire season. They're averaging 22.8, throwing for 246, running for 127. Purdy a little banged up the last game. He's going to have to play a good, solid game here. Keep the turnovers down. They are giving up 24.3. Think of if they're healthy. Mason, McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Jennings, so many weapons, but you're only going to get about 60% of those guys on the field. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, he's got to get things back on track. Slinging the ball, running the ball, using his legs to scramble for first downs. They're averaging 22.1, throwing for 212, running for 144, very balanced. They do give up 22.2. They have a lot of weapons also that should be healthy. Connor, McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., they can win this game, finish this season 8-9, but I have San Francisco getting back in the win column. They win this one 28-23. And this is actually going to be a pretty decent game, especially with a lot of the Rams starters probably not playing this game. Fox at 4:25 p.m., the 9-7 Seattle Seahawks versus the 10-6 LA Rams. They're going to the playoffs. They've had a lot of injury issues this season. There's no reason to test the limits and get someone hurt this game. Right now, you have the Rams 56.4% chance to win this game, but Seattle 5.5-point favorites. The over here is 39. It's all going to come down to Geno Smith. 17 touchdowns, 15 picks. He needs to play a good, clean, solid game here. Keep the turnovers down. If you turn the ball over, the Rams will turn that into points. They're averaging 21.6, throwing for 238, running for 93.8, giving up 21.4. A lot of injuries. Kenneth Walker III, Smith, DK Metcalf. Like I said, the game is going to be on Geno Smith having a good, clean game. They win. Turnovers, they're probably going to lose. For the Rams, they have the veteran Stafford. They're averaging 21.4, throwing for 222, running for 105, giving up 22.3. They got a lot of weapons. They have Williams 1 yard shy of 1,300, Nakua, Cooper Kupp, Atwell. Just how long are those guys in the game? You want to make sure they're not rusty for the playoffs, but no reason to take any chances. They pull their starters first half. I have Seattle winning this one in a close one, 24-20. Then at 4:25 p.m. on Fox, the 8-8 Miami Dolphins finally got their way back to 500. They'll be playing the 4-12 New York Jets. This might be the last game we see from Aaron Rodgers. Right now, the Dolphins 1-point favorite. They have a 53.1% chance to win this game. The over in here is 39.5. Tua might play this game. If Tua plays this game, they win If he doesn't play this game, I think the Jets pull it out. But we just don't have any news where he goes. The offense goes as well. He's just a massively injury-prone quarterback. They're averaging 20.3, throwing for 221, running for 104, giving up 20.8. They do have a top 5 rush defense. They'll try to control the Reds' ground game, but the Jets don't have a good ground game anyways. Right now, Rodgers not having a bad season. They do struggle in the red zone. He's closing in on 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 picks. They average 19.1. They throw for 216. They run for 90.2, giving up 24 points a game. The Dolphins, loaded offensive roster, but we're going to have Waddle come back, and we need to see Tua. He is doubtful right now, so I'm going to be going with him not playing. Jets, decent wide receiver core. They have Lazard. They have Adams. They have Wilson. They have just enough weapons to beat the beat-up Dolphins. They win this one 23-20. But like I said, if Tua plays, I do think the Dolphins win. And then on CBS at 4:25 p.m., the 15-1 Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champs, they're going to be playing their entire second string this game. They don't want to take the chance of anyone getting hurt, but also you want the Broncos to win because that might be able to keep Cincinnati out of the playoffs. They'll be playing the 9-7 Denver Broncos. They need to win this game to make the playoffs. They have a 51.6% chance to win this game. 11-point favorites over the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs' second string. The over in here is 40. Right now, Kansas City, all the backups are in, but they're averaging 24.1, throwing for 232, running for 110, giving up 18 points a game. The number 1 defense in the NFL. They control the ground game. They get turnovers at the line of scrimmage, create a lot of havoc, but it's going to be the second string. They'll still be good. They'll be great, but it'll be just a little less than great. Right now, Denver, they're averaging 24.2, getting really good play from Bo Nix, 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. He can use his legs and scramble, get out of pressure on those third downs. They're throwing for 206, running for 109, giving up 19.4. They also have the defense to win this game, and they're going to be playing their starters. I have Denver, their ground game, their defense, keeping this game close, and them pulling off the win, but I still think it's going to be close. They win 21-17. And then our next game, the second to last game, CBS 4:25 p.m., the 10-6 LA Chargers. They've clinched a playoff spot. Props to them, props to Harbaugh. They're playing the 4-12 Las Vegas Raiders. Let's call the Raiders what they are. They don't do anything well. They don't have a good offense. They don't have a good defense. Right now, the Chargers, how long do they leave the starters in? They have a 55.6% chance to win this game. 5.5-point favorites. The over here is 41 Chargers. Herbert's really come on the second half. 3,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 3 picks. They're averaging 23 a game, throwing for 206, running for 109, giving up 17.6 points a game. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. They get after it. They get a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. They create turnovers, and the Raiders are having offensive quarterback issues, shuffling O'Connell, Minshew. Doesn't matter who plays. They turn the ball over a lot. They're averaging 18.1, throwing for 223, running for 82, one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL. You got to run the ball, got to open up the play action. And they're giving up 25 a game. If Brock Bowers had a decent quarterback, this guy would have 1,500 yards this season. Look for the Chargers to just run it down their throat, play good defense. They dominate this game at the line of scrimmage. They win it 28-17. And the final game of the regular season might be the best game of the entire regular season. 8:20 p.m. NBC, January 5th, the 14-2 Minnesota Vikings versus the 14-2 Detroit Lions, fighting for that number 1 spot. Darnold versus Goff. This game is going to be great. This game's a 50-50 pick'em. I could see it going either way. Right now, the Lions, they're cruising on offense. A lot of injuries on defense. That might hold them back, but they can score and outscore anyone. Right now, they have a 64.5% chance to win this game. They are 3-point favorites. For the Vikings, Sam Darnold having a great season, 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. They're averaging 26.4, throwing for 244, running for 108, only giving up 18.8 points a game. That defense will follow them on the road, and they only give up 88.1 on the ground. Can they control the line of scrimmage here versus the Lions? Easier said than done. Right now, Goff picked things right up where he left off last year. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 picks. These teams are very evenly matched. The number 1 offense, they average 33.3. They throw for 266. They run for 144. They're giving up 20.8. They can beat you on offense. They can beat you on defense. They can beat you throwing the ball. They can beat you running the ball. And they're also giving up only 97 yards on the ground. 2 great rush defenses. It's strength on strength. Who's going to win? For the Vikings, they have Aaron Jones Jr. They have the best wide receiver in the NFL, Justin Jefferson. And on the other side, Gibbs, St. Brown. They don't have Montgomery, but they can still score. This game's going to go back and forth. We'll go down to the fourth quarter, potentially final possession. We have the Vikings pulling it out. 34-30. Low confidence in that because, like I said, this game could go either way. So that's our quick picks for all of our Week 18 games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.